Diana strikes a pose with a new vinyl release. Here's your look at the upcoming release of the Cryptozoic Entertainment. This is the Wonder Woman movie collectible vinyl figure. Wonder Woman redefines superheroes on the big screen by showing the ability of a woman to change the world with her strength and sense of justice. This figure reflects the power of the iconic Amazonian princess as she wields a sword and wears her trademark armor, ready to battle at a moment's notice. The vinyl figure was designed by Pedro Estudillo and sculpted by Anders Berg. As I go ahead and get Wonder Woman measured off, I want to send out a big thank you to the folks over at Cryptozoic Entertainment, who were very nice enough to send this my way. In case you guys are wondering, the 411 on this one, Wonder Woman actually is going to be released at SDCC. So if you guys are interested in picking this one up for yourself and can't make it over to San Diego Comic-Con 2019, you can also click the link down below, which will have the pre-order available if you guys are interested in picking this one up for yourself. According to the Ultra Measure 5000, of course the measuring tool in which I use, the vinyl figure of movie Wonder Woman stands at 8 inches exactly, which works out in centimeters as being 20.3 centimeters tall. While we're also at it, let's do some size comparisons. I'll bring in another one of the Cryptozoic pieces that we've had a look at on this channel. This happens to be the original classic costumed Harley Quinn, so that you guys can see what they look like side by side. A safe assumption, I think it would be to make, that they are roughly about the same height to one another. You could give the pass to Harley Quinn being slightly taller, simply because she's got that little bit of extra lift happening in her cowl, but they're roughly about the same height to one another. Yes, as I was saying, Cryptozoic Entertainment is slating to reveal and release Wonder Woman around the SDCC time. So if you are actually able to get out to the event this year, which sadly I will not be able to attend for this year, you'll be able to see this firsthand. You can swing on over to their booth and have a look at some of their offerings, including the now Gal Gadot movie-inspired Wonder Woman, which is what we're looking at right here. This is something that has been on my radar for a very long time, seeing first glimpses and glances at the movie tie-in vinyl figure of Wonder Woman. I must say, in hand, it delivers just as well as what I initially saw when I saw this one online. It's a beautifully rendered, simplified, stylized, throwing out a whole bunch of S's there, a rendition of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. She does look quite beautiful, as her physical, real-life counterpart certainly is. She is, of course, sporting her movie tie-in attire, which will consist of her battle-armored top and skirts, as well as her armored-up, looped-up, laced-up boots. While we're actually looking at her boots, we can also look at the display stand that the figure stands atop of. It is permanently affixed, so you can, of course, take this off, and it does allow for some additional stability when you are displaying the figure. I like that they've kept it relatively simple and straightforward. They could probably also added some additional like metallic gold paint, a little lighter in paint, maybe variations where the sunken in areas could be a different color than the raised sections right here. But still, all things considered, I like the fact that they actually perched her top of a Wonder Woman logo, as opposed to simply just giving her like an oval display base. On the underside of the base, it's not really a whole lot to have a look at, but it does say Cryptozoic Entertainment, and it has your trademark of 2019 down below. As for the statue vinyl figure itself of Wonder Woman, she is wearing or holding her sword in hand. Lasso of Truth also looped around the holstered strap that runs across her top shoulder area here. Overall, again, just she looks like she does in the film. Just, like I said, a little bit more stylized. I must say, though, I really am quite impressed with the face. It's remarkable that you're able to take... really, when you do caricatures of characters, real-life actors or living people, if you happen to go to a carnival and somebody's doing caricatures, they often take the most notable features and exaggerate them. That's the whole point of a caricature. I guess for a caricature of Gal Gadot, maybe what we could take is the elements of a higher cheekbone, a really long, slender, narrow nose, and of course those notable peepers, the very large eyes on her face. So I really think for a caricature almost is even an insult to how this vinyl piece ended up coming out. Caricature would almost imply taking more larger proportions and exaggerated proportions. I think they've exaggerated just the right amount that it does still look very much like the actress, still quite pretty. And again, you've got the over-exaggerated larger head, which is Cryptozoic's calling card when it comes to these vinyl pieces. Slightly smaller bodies in proportions to the larger heads. Again, really pretty head sculpt there. You've got a little bit of that glimmer of light reflecting off the top of her eyeball there, around the brown of her iris. Nice bold black outlining going around her eyes, showcasing a little bit of eyelash right there. And then she's also got the bold, very sharp, angled eyebrows there as well. Her tiara also intact up at the top, matching similar colors of the gold to the colors of the gold that we looked at further down below. Yeah, you remember those golds. They're right there. A nice flowing grouping of hair here. I like how it all sort of is grouped together, in which the wind looks like it was whoosh, blowing this way, and then cascading the hair blowing off to this side right here. The hair sculpt is nice, and it's not quite black. Instead, actually, instead in front of the camera here, it actually comes across a little bit more like a really dark brown rather than instead black. There's what the back of the statue looks like. A nice, decent pose that they've got her displayed in. Very stoic, strong stance. I like actually that she's got the very... I like the fact that she's got the straight arms running further back from her torso, kind of projecting forward that, again, that she's got that heroic stance happening to it. I suppose there are some little fragile components to it, one of which being the sword, so you want to be careful that you don't accidentally clip that. I also like the fact that the sword runs low. It drapes just down to her side, almost drapes like drapes on the sides of a window. You've got the draping of the sword running down the side, and parallel actually then to the lasso of truth, like I said, indicated there on the side. Like also the fact that this is done in a different yellow to the gold that they put on her boots. For example, the gold on her belt and the gold on the top of her bodice part of her armor here. It just stands out a little bit. Actually kind of looks a little bit like it's glowing a bit. Again, paint's really nice and clean on this particular one. This one was one that they had announced a while ago, and they were making a few little tweaks and twerks to it so that when it eventually would get its later into the year release, Wonder Woman was perfect. And I must say, as a personal fan of the vinyl figures that they've released, I'm just a big fan of vinyl figures, except for that company. You know that company, the company that puts pop in their vinyl figures. I like a change of pace. The more kind of feminine looking vinyl figures are sort of my cup of tea. You certainly know from the vast number that I've covered onto this channel in the past, and probably will continue to do so, this is really like my ideal sort of collectible. It breaks the mold, I mean, literally and figuratively, to some of the other collectibles that you see so abundantly saturating the market right now. I like this as a change of pace. I'm a big fan of the bombshells that Cryptozoic continue to release. And again, when the opportunity was presenting itself to have a look at the movie-inspired Gal Gadot vinyl figure from Cryptozoic Entertainment, I jumped at the chance to have a look at her, and now that I'm seeing actually her physically in hand, she delivers everything I would have wanted from this figure, and really a whole lot more. vinyl figures, Wonder Woman, and Gal Gadot. These are some of my favorite things. When I first saw images surface online of Cryptozoic's offering of the movie collectible Wonder Woman in the Gal Gadot design, I must have leapt out of my chair. Now, of course, we've sat a little bit on waiting for this one to get released. As I said, Cryptozoic has been tweaking and fine-tuning this until it was absolutely perfect. Seeing this now physically in hand, I would have to agree with that. It is an absolutely perfect rendition of a cuter, more stylized Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. It encapsulates exactly what Gal Gadot looked like as Wonder Woman in the film, but like I said, just in a more stylized vinyl treatment. Cryptozoic have certainly been churning out vinyl figures for many years now, doing many of the bombshell figures. You've seen enough of them on this channel to know that I'm a big fan of Cryptozoic's vinyl figures. And this one could be one of my favorites. Maybe this will be the dawning, if you will, of justice, as Cryptozoic may venture into more movie tie-in figures. I would definitely be excited to see what they could do with other movie-related characters, maybe even going back to some of older movies like some of the Dark Knight trilogy, like Nolan's universe. Maybe get in a Catwoman, for example, or even further back from that. Could you imagine a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman in this design? Of course, licensing will always be the big problem, and most companies will, of course, be more than happy to jump on board a new property if the licensing is something that they can acquire. So you never know. This might be the dawning, like I said, of a new line of vinyl figures, and if that's be the case, I'm definitely on board. If you are on board, however, in picking this one up for yourself, it's worth noting that Wonder Woman is an SDCC release. In other words, if you are looking to pick up this one for yourself or have at least a gander at it, you may want to head on over to SDCC for 2019. And if you're like me, who is unfortunately unable to attend the con this year, a bit of a sad panda tear, you can also pre-order this one right now in the link I'll provide in the video description down below. One of the other things that Cryptozoic is known for, their calling card when it comes to their vinyl figures, is the various different color swaps and variants that they offer for many of their regular vinyl releases. Wonder Woman here is no exception, and she's also going to be getting herself a noir version, a really cool looking black and white kind of black color scheme Wonder Woman. If you guys are wanting to see images of that, I'll also provide that in the video description. I'm all about providing as much 411 as I possibly can, and you'll find all of that in the linkage down below in the video description. Let me know what you guys think of the new upcoming release, as she's not out just yet. The Cryptozoic Entertainment movie collectible vinyl figure of Wonder Woman. Based on this review, what do you guys think of the figure? Always like reading your comments down below. In the meantime, though, today we were having a look at the upcoming release of the Cryptozoic Entertainment Wonder Woman movie collectible vinyl figure. That's going to be quite a lengthy title to be putting above this video. I'll see if I can swing it, though. If you are swinging into the idea of picking up any other of the vinyl figures that Cryptozoic have done over the years, maybe you want to see some of the reviews that I've done, there's a Cryptozoic Entertainment playlist that you can find on this channel. It's actually, I'll even see if I can put the link down below. Or you can check out my various different playlists, and you should be able to find the Cryptozoic Entertainment playlist. Having a look at all the vinyl figures that I've done up to this point, and all the future videos will be on there as well. Speaking of also all the stuff down below, I've already dumped a whole bunch of stuff for you guys to have a look at down below. But while you're also at it too, if you're a new person to this channel, a new owl, a species that maybe we have yet to discover, and you really dig online video content, and you seem to have chosen to watch this channel as your go-to for your introductory to video content on YouTube, thank you for that. New species that mankind is about to discover. Just don't enslave us. That's the only thing I ask for. But if you are new or a long-time viewer and just never got around to doing it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and swing on over. We're going to try to use swing as much as we can in the final looks here. On over to the bell notification. Make sure you turn it on to full notification so that when new videos are coming onto this channel, you'll never miss out. Again, guys, what do you guys think of the new Wonder Woman from Cryptozoic Entertainment? Let me know down below in the comments section, and I'll see you guys next time.